Hi, this is Antonio Galimberti from AG Languages. Today we are going to review the organization of a four-paragraph essay. How many words does this essay have? It has 357 words and four paragraphs. The first paragraph has 56 words, the second paragraph 153 words, the third paragraph has 107 words, and the fourth paragraph, the conclusion, has 42 words. But what is the task? The task is, do you agree or disagree with the following statement? First impressions are usually correct. Use specific details and examples, of course, to explain your point of view. Well, this student believes that first impressions are usually correct. That is his point of view. And he has put his ideas together in an essay in four paragraphs in 357 words. We're going to review organization. We are not going to focus on grammar, punctuation, vocabulary, or other features. All right, are you ready? So let's see. This introduction has to have a hook, a sentence that gets the reader's attention. It has to have background information that provides context for what is coming. And also, it needs a thesis statement. Are we going to find those three ingredients in this introduction? Let's see. The science of first impressions is complicated. In my opinion, this is the hook, and it's a good one because it's kind of like a shocking statement. Oh, it is complicated. Why do you say that? Oh my God, let me know. Yes. Then background information. It is influenced by things outside of our control, such as neurological processes we don't fully understand and inaccurate stereotypes. Wow. But can we rely on these first impressions to accurately assess someone's personality? This is just general information about first impressions. He's not explaining anything here. He's just providing background information, general ideas about first impressions. Then he has a thesis statement. There are two important studies that show that this work, sorry, there are two important studies that show that this works in two important circumstances in life. Okay, so this is his thesis statement. And by this, I think the science of first impressions. That is what I think he means. So, according to his thesis statement, he is going to talk about two important studies that give information about two important circumstances in life in which this meaning first impressions actually um, have something to do, right? So let's see the first body paragraph. Let's see what is the first circumstance in life in which first impressions are important. First impressions are important in romantic settings. So it's clear that he's going to talk about romantic settings. But in the thesis, he's saying that he's going to mention two important studies. So we have to make sure that we find one of those two studies that he is referring to. Here it says, according to researchers from McGill University, forming an accurate impression of an individual on a first date is important because people often rely on these impressions when deciding whether or not to pursue a romantic relationship. So here is the first study that he mentions in his thesis statement. And this study is connected to romantic relationships. Yes, a romantic setting. So all of these green part of the paragraph is closely related to the topic sentence and to the thesis statement, which is beautiful. Now we have orange. Why do we have orange here? Because he's talking about previous studies. Look, while previous studies have shown that people can form accurate impressions of new acquaintances in platonic settings, like casual conversations with new classmates, the researchers from McGill University conducting the study aforementioned wanted to find out if the same was true for higher stakes situations like first dates. To find answers, the researchers, they invited McGill University researchers, they invited 372 participants to partake in speed dating events in Montreal in 2017 and 2018. Participants were asked to complete a questionnaire assessing their own personality and well being. A close friend or family member also completed one of these tasks on the participant's personality. Participants then had a series of brief 3-minute first dates. After each interaction, they rated their date's personality. Okay, that's nice. But what can we say about this paragraph? What can we say about it? Well, this paragraph has a very good topic sentence. And this topic sentence is telling us what the paragraph is about. It is about one of these two important circumstances and about one of those important studies. So what is the important circumstance? The first important circumstance, romantic settings. Okay, so he also mentions that study. He mentions this study from McGill University. He refers back to previous research, and then he continues talking about McGill University researchers. But there is a problem. He's talking about the process of this research, all the steps that the research involved, but he's not mentioning the result. Okay, so he's saying that this study is a good example of why we can believe that first impressions are important in romantic settings. He's saying that this study is going to allow us to understand that that is a fact. However, he's not mentioning the result of the study. So I read the paragraph and this is my feeling. What is the result of the study? Another question that I have, what does the study show? It is true that he's saying this here. People often rely on these impressions when deciding whether or not to pursue a romantic relationship. Yes, that's the general idea. But I need to see the facts, the numbers, right? Maybe 90% of the people involved in the research, yes, acknowledged that first impressions were important for them. That is what we need right here. Okay, that's nice. So, in my opinion, a good beginning. All of this is nice. Okay, but we need here a stronger conclusion in the paragraph. Then, the thesis statement is talking about two important circumstances in life. The first one is romantic settings, okay, in which first impressions are important. What is the second circumstance? Social settings are shaped by first impressions too. Have you noticed what technique this student is using when writing his two topic sentences so that they don't look the same? Well, here he's using the active voice. And he has started his sentence by talking or mentioning first impressions and then romantic settings. Here in this sentence, He's using the passive voice, and he's talking about social settings first, and he's mentioning first impressions then later as the agent, right? So that is a very easy technique to use when writing your topic sentences in the two body paragraphs so that they don't look the same, right? You can use the active voice in the first one and then the passive voice in the second one. And you have two topic sentences that look different, look and sound different. So the topic sentence is clear. Let's see the rest of the body. A study, okay, he's talking about another study. A study made by the University of British Columbia noted that there is one way to be right about people's personality during first social encounters. We can know how people are different from one another, but a good judge of persons knows that people are mostly alike. For example, almost everyone would prefer being friendly to being quarrelsome. Most people rated their partner's personality in a way that most people do. The more accurate they felt their perception was. And because most people have common personality traits, they were indeed being accurate when judging others based on first impressions. Okay, thank you. So, what can we say about this paragraph? Well, it has 107 words, is the second body paragraph. It has an easy to understand, easy to get topic sentence, straight to the point, clear, simple. Then he mentions that study, okay, from the University of British Columbia, right? And that is good. Why? Because in his thesis statement, he's saying that there are two important studies that he's going to mention, right? And then he says that this study shows that there is a way. There is a way to be right, or maybe a way to know, a way to identify people's personality during first social encounters. Okay, that is what this student is saying. There is a way to identify people's personalities during first social encounters. However, when I read, this is my personal opinion, when I read the rest of the paragraph, I don't find that way. Okay. So if you say that there is one way to identify people's personality during first social encounters, and you read after that the supporting details, those supporting details have to let you know what or which that way is. Maybe body language, right? By paying attention to people's body language, you can identify the kind of personality they have during first social encounters. Okay, so body language, that is a way. Paying attention to body language or paying attention to eye contact, that is another way to identify people's personalities. Maybe that's what we need here. No, but my opinion is that here we don't find the way to identify people's personalities during first social encounters. Then there's another problem here. There's this sentence that I find quite hard to understand. All right. And then it says, for example. So if I don't understand orange, I am not going to be able to understand the example. So before you mention one example, you have to make sure that your statement, your initial statement, your starting statement is clear. So if this is clear, your example will be able to be understood by your audience. All right. Then we have another problem here, which is called a fragment. This is a fragment. It is a group of words that are not part of a sentence. They have no meaning. So we have to be careful with that. All right. So what do we need here? We need to answer this question. What is the way? What is the way to identify people's personalities during first social encounters? That question has to be answered here in the rest of the paragraph. Okay? In that way, the paragraph is going to be effective. In the conclusion, we have a concluding statement, right? That's good. We have the concluding statement. After that, we need the thesis statement. The science of first impressions is correct and we can rely on it. Okay? And here I would say, especially into common in environments. Yes. Why do I need two common environments? Because here your thesis statement is talking about two important circumstances in life. And remember, you have to paraphrase your thesis statement so that it's clear that you're talking about two things. Yes. Here, we don't have a mentioning of the first paragraph. He's trying to summarize the second paragraph, but there's no mention to romantic encounters or romantic relationships or romantic settings. Yes, so that is what we need in the paraphrasing of the body. And then final comments. Now you know how first impressions work and you can use it for your own benefit. Okay, this may be the concluding comments, the final comments. Okay, maybe acting or moving people to act. So we need to improve our summary of the body. It's hard to summarize the body if it's not clear what the body is about. Yes. So to have a good conclusion, we need two good body paragraphs. Very good. So we have focused on organizing this essay a little bit or commenting on how to improve its organization. 357 words, four paragraphs. Remember in your introduction, a hook to get the reader's attention, background information to give, general information about the topic, then a thesis statement to provide or to say what your essay is about, what your main idea is about. Then a topic sentence closely related to the thesis statement. Then supporting ideas, right? But don't forget to answer important questions that allow you to reach to important conclusions. And what is your objective, your aim? Make your thesis stronger, as strong as possible, right? And here, please make sure that you answer the questions that you formulate while developing your idea. If you don't answer the questions, in this case, what is the way that you recommend? If you don't answer that question, then your point is not clear and your paragraph um, does not accomplish its objective, right? And in the conclusion, a concluding phrase, paraphrase the thesis statement, summarize the body, and then close with final comments, moving people to act if possible. So thank you very much for watching this video. Bye bye.